I'm off to run some errands. Please tidy up this place. Wow, how did you guys do it?
We got cleaners.
Cleaners?
You know it, Dad.
Cleaner, it works.
Coming up next on Plus TV, Plus News. Join our news team for half hour of local and national news. Plus News, informative, balanced, accurate, and current.
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda parts. Don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase. Love your Honda is all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February. Only at Benquip Equipment Parts Service.
In the headlines for tonight's newscast, rape trial of Orson O.J. Elrington begins behind closed doors. Mayor of Belmopan comments on rising crime in the capital city. BCWJ says BTL's severance interest offer falls short, threatening to resume protests. Belize's ambassador to Mexico says no Belizeans were injured during cartel uprising in Mexico. And the Ministry of Agriculture gearing up for this year's National Agricultural and Trade Show. These stories and more coming up next on Plus News. Stay tuned.
This newscast is brought to you through the courtesy of Builders Hardware, your home improvement warehouse.
So this is how much I work to you then?
So what, you may want 3 then?
Sure, you ought to order.
Sure. And I may think flowers may romantic. Did you just get your girl 1 flower? Now you're in trouble? A poor man out there, man. That's sin.
Your girl doesn't just want 1 flower, she wants a garden.
But builders, they're too far.
That's why we brought the store to you.
At shopbuildersbz.com, we make it easier to find all your building needs. Shop anytime, enjoy delivery right at your door, and save with every purchase. For February only, first-time users get to enjoy a special reward when signing up.
Ken!
Oh, yeah.
Like you do all of this?
Yes, with Builders Hardware.
Pleasant good evening and welcome to Plus News for Tuesday, February 24, 2026. I am Julian Cruz. The rape trial of Orson O.J. Elrington was scheduled to begin Tuesday morning in the High Court, but proceedings were delayed due to a legal dispute over whether the case should be heard in open or closed court. The defense submitted an application requesting that the judge-alone trial be conducted in open court, a position opposed by the prosecution, which is seeking an in-camera hearing. As a result, members of the media were informed that they would not be permitted to observe the proceedings pending the court's ruling. The Crown's case is being led by Director of Public Prosecutions, Sherilyn Vidal, while Elrington is represented by attorneys Alifa Elrington and Wilfred Sede Elrington. Presiding Judge Nigel Pilgrim adjourned the matter until 3 p.m. to hear oral arguments from both sides. Following today's matter, the media caught up with one of OJ's representatives.
Sexual assault case. What's your take on the arguments that were made?
I think they're both good arguments. Both good arguments. Two counsel have been doing very well indeed. So we just have to wait and see what will happen. And the judge seemed to be very good. I'm happy about that.
Any timeline as to when a decision is expected to be made?
I thought he said he's going to make a decision on Friday morning.
At 9?
Yeah, that's the impression I got.
Since the ending of last year, crime in the capital city of Belmopan has seemingly been on the rise. Before I go to that, there was a quick little insert that on Friday, the sitting judge will make his ruling regarding the O.J. Ellington case. My apologies. Now we return to the story. Since the ending of last year, crime in the capital city of Belmopan has seemingly been on the rise. The spike in crime began on the 7th of January when longtime Belmopan resident Mark Gabriel was gunned down on Mountain View Boulevard after conducting a routine delivery run at the Sunny City supermarket. Following Gabriel's murder, a series of robberies were reported throughout the city of Belmopan, with prominent business owners taking to Facebook stating that delivery men would no longer be allowed to deliver at certain addresses. Crime in the capital reached an apex when Zamar Alvarez and Calvert Webster were gunned down just a stone's throw away from the Belmopan City Council on Friday, February 13. Today we spoke with the mayor of Belmopan, Pablo Kowich, who explained that what his council is doing to tackle the rising crime situation in Belmopan.
We're working a bit closer with the police to ensure that we have the best initiative to address this situation. When it comes to security, it's not an actual mandate that the city has to execute, but obviously we have to ensure that it is part of our responsibility to ensure the safety of the people. We have to do that in collaboration with the correct entities. One of the additional things that I'm presently doing is I've started the formation of a formal work group, which would be consisting of the different ministries that have to do with safety, with homelessness, and with mental individuals, because that is also one of the concerns that has been increasing. We think we'll end up with some better results.
Following the double murder of Zamar Alvarez and Calvert Webster in the city of Belmopan, Mayor Kowich gave an interview stating that the crime was not a reflection of the capital city, as neither of the victims were from Belmopan. While it has since been confirmed that Calvert Webster came from Mahogany Heights, it has also been confirmed that Zamar Alvarez was in fact a resident of Belmopan. Since making comments regarding Alvarez's residency, the mayor has been under fire from residents of the capital and certain media personalities who have been calling for the mayor to make a formal apology and recant his initial statement. Today we spoke with the mayor and asked him about his previous comments and the scrutiny he has been receiving. According to the mayor, the constant attacks are just political mischief. Here is that full exchange.
I don't believe I owe any response to a media house. I did make the comments as I explained to some people and the mother of the individual. I rely on information provided to me. I am not out there doing investigations by myself. So I repeat, or I have to rely on information that is provided to me by the respective authorities. So just for information, or for information to the public, I have visited the mother. I did relay my condolences as well as we discussed issues on how the city can assist her through this difficult time. But the attacks, as you mentioned, it's just, I classify it as political attacks. It is, as you are aware, we are entering the last year of our term, so elections are around the corner, and it's just political noise that the opposition will stir up, because in my personal view, I don't believe that the city has done any wrong, or let me rephrase that. I believe this city administration has been the most effective when it comes to progress for the municipality itself. And that is the direction we will continue pushing towards. We rely on what individual Belmopan people say. And obviously, you still have that opposition existing in Belmopan as well. So they're the ones who tend to be making noise.
But we couldn't see that Mr. Zamar was in fact Belmopanese.
Well, as I was informed by her mother, yes, he was born in Belmopan. He lived both in Belmopan and Belize. So, as I mentioned, I was repeating information that was shared with me. It's not something that as was stated that I was disowning anyone. I have no benefit in disowning anyone.
Membership of the Belize Communications Workers for Justice is threatening to once again take to the streets of Belize City regarding their severance payments. Last week, the representatives of the BCWJ met with BTL and called the meeting productive. During that meeting, it was announced that BTL would be paying severance to the former workers and that interest would be added. According to BCWJ rep Emily Turner, when they went back to BTL to discuss the interest rate, they were lowballed.
Today we met again with BTL. As we had stated, we basically had to discuss what the interest rate would be on this severance. When BTL had approached us last week when we came, it was only severance and no interest rate. The interest rate had been paid for the employees that were within 6 years at 6%. The people that went for litigation, they also got 6%. And when BTL came, they said their board had approved no interest rate. So we said, well, in good faith, let's give you an opportunity to go back and get an interest rate from the board. And so they presented that to us today. We came down from our position of 6% to give them a leeway to be able to meet us somewhere, but they are very far from that percentage. And so what we are trying to say across the table is that we basically have to create equity. I can't have left one day before you and get no interest or a very minimal interest, and you have already, when you left, you have already gotten paid at 6%. So, and the value of money has changes drastically between 1994 and 2025. We did our calculations on that, we ran the models, and basically that money would have appreciated by 71%. And we are not saying 71%, we're saying let's use a standard rate that the courts give, so that then, and we have to create this equity because people have left. So that's where we are in terms of the negotiations. We're trying to settle this, but we don't feel like at this point, the mandate that the board has given to the BTL executive team that came to meet with us, that the board is not being fair with us. And so these discussions are not are no longer being done in good faith. Last week, I think when we spoke, we told you guys that we felt that, they were being genuine, it was being done in good faith, but we don't feel like we are there anymore. There are several reasons we feel that way, because when we asked them to go to the board and give us their give us their ultimate position, we get something else. And when we ask for the ultimate position, we get something lower. So we always been lowball, you know. And we have a very hard mandate to maintain that 6%. That's the mandate that we got. And but we are trying to find ways to bring these negotiations and this settlement and not go to court. So we are trying to keep all of us out of court, but it doesn't seem like that's gonna go that way. And where we're trying to make sure that we don't go again, have to take the streets again, but that is the direction we will have to take. We will have to continue protesting because we're not making much leeway. We have offered to them to request a meeting with the board of directors, and we don't want a subcommittee. We don't want a piece of the board. We want full board because the full board must listen to us, must understand what we are proposing, because I think they don't have the context of what we are proposing and the position that they take. Because every time we sit in there, we keep on hearing that they believe that we have a statute of limitation when the CCJ has ruled unpaid people that are beyond 6 years. And this keeps being something that is brought up. These 10 people at this board believe that they are over all of us. I'm starting to wonder if they serve at the Prime Minister's behest or if it's the other way. We are not leaving this meeting in high spirits because we feel like it wasn't in good faith. We're being lowballed. We asked for things in good faith. Give us your best numbers. Go to your board, and we receive the very lowest, the hardest. So it's not going well, and we will consult back with our group. But I know from our discussions, people are prepared to go back to protest.
Belize ambassador says situation in Mexico is stabilizing, but still issues a caution. We'll have more on that right after the break.
So this is how much I work to you then?
So what, you may want 3 then?
Sure. You ought to order.
Sure. And I may think flowers may romantic. Did you just get your girl 1 flower? Now you're in trouble? A poor man out there, man, that's sin.
Your girl doesn't just want 1 flower, she wants a garden.
But builders are too far.
That's why we brought the store to you.
At shopbuildersbz.com, we make it easier to find all your building needs. Shop anytime, enjoy delivery right at your door, and save with every purchase. For February only, first-time users get to enjoy a special reward when signing up.
Kenneth!
Oh, yeah.
Like you do all of this?
Yes, with Builders Hardware.
Every connection we make is more than just a signal. It's a student unlocking a future through digital education. A young mind daring to dream bigger. Our culture shared with the world in real time. And everyday heroes answering the call of civic duty. When we connect with Digi, we empower Belize.
Hello, I am Dr. Rosado, a pediatrician, and today I want to talk to parents about rotavirus and how we can protect our children. Rotavirus is a virus that causes severe water, diarrhea, and vomiting. This can lead to severe dehydration and may require hospitalization if not treated promptly. The good news is that diarrhea caused by rotavirus is preventable by vaccines. The vaccine is safe, effective, and available at all nearest health centers. It is given in drops orally at 2, 4, and 6 months of age. Protect your child against severe diarrhea. Visit your nearest clinic today.
will keep doing what we're doing until every child in this country drinks clean water. When every child in this country drinks clean water, then we know we have gotten to a really good place. And we are working very hard to achieve that. Today's handover represents a concrete step towards expanding safe and reliable water services for children and families. Access to safe water is essential for health, education, resilience, especially in rural communities where challenges remain greatest.
As leaders, we have to have a vision of wanting to improve the lives of our people. And we don't know it all, but by working with the community, we come to the community and we identify the needs of our community. And by doing so, we can then work together, the government in partnership with very important organizations like UNICEF. The work of supporting our people, be it in water, in electricity, in roads, in health and education, has to be a partnership with other partners.
Festival come to this very nation.
In Isaiah 30:29 it says, and you will sing as on the night you celebrate a holy festival, and your heart will rejoice. The body of Christ will unite, and many hearts will rejoice on the Saturday, March 7, 2026 at the Belize Civic Center, beginning at 6 p.m. as a Heavenly's Productions brings to you Jesus Festival.
Yeah, Jesus.
Featuring the hottest gospel artist coming out of the Bahamas, Sherwin Gardner.
So I say, with all of my heart and all of my soul, I worship you, O Jah. Tell them that the praises never stop. All I want to do is give you the highest praise.
Also showcasing one of the biggest gospel artists from out of Trinidad and Tobago, Positive, dropping his hit tunes.
Rolling in my two-man army, my Jesus and I wanna sing out some sweet gospel reggae. Blessing after blessing and nothing can hold it back.
And then it's the return of the biggest gospel band in Belize, Heavenly.
I'm gonna be heavenly's for life, serving Jesus Christ.
Atlanta, Georgia, USA, the daughter of the world-famous televangelist Creflo Dollar, none other than Jordan Dollar, with her hit song. Also highlighting Genesis 501 from Capital City, Pentapan. Blind Sight, Genesis Gospel Band from Sugar City, Orange Walk. Reality Youth, Pastor Herman Blees and the Kings Park Prince team, Pastor Frederick Gordon and Garin Carballo and his GCO group. Remember Jesus Festival.
Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus. Rocking on the world.
Taking place Saturday, March 7, Belize Civic Center from 6 p.m. until. Bring out the entire family for a time of praising God and witnessing souls being saved and lives being recommitted to God. For tickets, call 615-4766. That's 615-4766. Sponsors: Angela's Press, Racina's Imports, Cellular World, Love FM, More FM, Quem Radio, Vibes Radio, PlusTV, Channel 7, Channel 5, and Wave Radio. Come on out and be blessed.
Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus.
Come to banquet, find your way. Engines roar at the break of day. Volvo outboard surf the waves. Castrol oil is what they crave. Live with power, feel the sound. Heavy machines shake the ground. Riding Honda, feeling proud. Rev it up and shout aloud. Feel the wind against your skin. Stars so wide, let's begin. At banquet where dreams ignite. Gear up. then let's take flight. Kohler's power runs our towns. JCB lifts heavy pounds. Find the tools to build your dreams. Benquip's got the best machines. Grip the wheel and never slip. Feel the rush, it's time to trip. Every brand you know and love. Benquip fits you like a glove. Feel the wind against your skin. Now so wide, let's begin. At Benquip, where dreams ignite. Gear up, then let's take flight.
Benquip, equipment, parts, service. We represent quality.
Over the weekend, chaos erupted in the Puerto Vallarta area of Mexico. On the 22nd of February, Mexico's military, in collaboration with U.S. intelligence, killed cartel boss Nemesio Cervantes, also known as El Mencho. Following the coordinated attack, members of El Mencho's cartel, the Jalisco New Generation cartel, took to the streets of Mexico in retaliation. But according to Belize's ambassador to Mexico, Oscar Arnold, things have calmed down dramatically and the country is regaining some semblance of normalcy.
By the end of yesterday and late last night, we saw a significant drop in the amount of blockages and the businesses that were being attacked, and as well as the vehicles that were being burnt. The military apparatus of Mexico were able to cordon off these areas and then control and then take over what was happening there. So Jalisco, Michoacán, Guadalajara, Tamaulipas, Puerto Vallarta, Nayarit were all areas where we saw some significant activity, but all of those have been quelled now. In this morning's Mañanera, in the President's daily briefing, she said that 100% of the blockages were cleared. They were dispatching, they already had 7,000 additional troops in Jalisco, and they were dispatching another 2,500 to the different areas to coordinate with the local authorities, the local police, the National Guard, to ensure that they can quell any such activity if it should happen again. They're not ruling out the possibility, but they're saying that they're in far better control to address any incidents of violence that would happen. Their intelligence apparatus, obviously, this was not just an isolated event. They're also looking at other areas where the CJNG have their strongholds.
The killing of cartel leader Nemesio El Mencho Cervantes has left other cartel factions to compete for the power vacuum that was left. The United States, Canada, and Belize have issued travel advisory warnings to all its residents, stating that Mexico at this time is not safe. As tensions begin to ease in the region, Belize's ambassador to Mexico, Oscar Arnold, is still advising Belizeans to be careful if they decide to visit the country. For car dealers considering taking the risk of driving through Mexico, Ambassador Arnold says that to wait at least a few days before beginning their journey.
My advice to car dealers would be, if you've not crossed into the Mexican border as yet and you're in the US and you're planning to come down, to wait a few days more. Things have been pretty calm since late last night into this morning. The response by the Mexican authorities and their military has been commendable. They're looking at it at a very serious situation. They're deploying the amount of military assets that is needed to make sure that they can control situations. So that is very commendable. But I would suggest, or I would advise to the car dealers to wait a few days before you start to make that trek back home. It's a question that I feel it from quite a few people, Belizeans who are in Merida. They've gone about doing their regular activities there. Some of them are planning to go back towards the end of the week, and my advice was to monitor the local news media to see if there's any flare-ups. Merida is one of the safest cities in all of Mexico, as you well know, and the National Guard are all on the federal highways trying to make sure that whatever the violence, it's contained to the areas in these stronghold, and they're closing the noose. They've surrounded quite a few of the areas where they know, or their intelligence is telling them that there are members, and they're slowly closing the noose and either eliminating or capturing the individuals who are creating the issues.
Multiple Belizean tourists and students were in Mexico at the time El Mencho was killed. While the majority of tourists managed to make it across the border safely back into Belize, students are still completing their studies in Mexico. Oscar Arnold, Belize's ambassador to Mexico, says that they have been in contact with the students, ensuring their safety. Arnold also confirmed that no Belizeans were injured during the riots throughout Mexico.
Insofar as Belizeans, we don't have any report of any Belizeans who were affected adversely or injured in any of this. As I mentioned earlier, there were a lot of students who were concerned, students in Anahuac, in Merida, in other parts of Mexico. And we've been fielding a lot of phone calls and just assuring them that the areas where they are very safe. We had two different groups of individuals who traveled from Belize City to Merida yesterday. They did not encounter any problem on the highway, and they're safe in Merida, going about and doing the activities that they're there for. We had a few people here in Mexico City who were on vacations. They traveled back this morning. They've reported to me that they've crossed the border there in Chetumal and Corozal without any issues. They didn't see a heightened sense of security at the international airport here in Mexico City, and that it's business as usual.
Earlier this month, Cuba announced that the country is on the brink of running out of jet fuel. At the start of the new year, US President Donald Trump announced that tariffs would be placed on any country sending oil to Cuba. Following that announcement, multiple airlines announced that they would be pausing flights to Cuba. The Cuban government, in an attempt to cut back on fuel usage, announced that vital services will keep running and fuel will only be used for food and national defense. Hospitals have reportedly shut down as well. With no fuel, the economy is on the brink of collapse. Today, our colleague at XTV spoke with Cuban Ambassador Yahima Martinez Milian, who elaborated on the situation in her home country and how Cubans are adapting to survive.
The situation has increased a little worse due to the application of some new measures of the U.S. against Cuba. So we are trying to adapt our economy and our situation, internal situation, in order to affront this new measures on this new situation that creates the United States in the island. We are adopt some measures, some protocols in order to guarantee the continuity of the stability inside the country and also to maintain the principal service of the island, the health system, the water supplies, pumping, that are very important for our population. Even on this situation, our country is not paralyzed. We are working. We have the continuity of the population, his life continuity in a very difficult situation, of course, but the life of our people is going on every day, very hard situation, but our government continue working in order to adapt the situation of the countries of this new measures of the United States.
Today, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, in collaboration with the Caribbean Public Health Agency, held a technical capacity building training in Belmopan in respect of mass gathering surveillance. The training is particularly looking at the upcoming National Agriculture and Trade Show and how quickly viruses and diseases can spread in places where a large number of people are gathered. Keston Daniel from the Caribbean Public Health Agency told us more.
What the risk assessment does, it gives an idea of what is the capacity, what is the risk profile of the event, and in this case, the event we are looking at is the Agricultural Trade Show, the National Agricultural Trade Show. That is one of the bigger events, as we understand, in Belize, having over 30,000 participants coming in that event together, including some international visitors that will be here. And what we need to ensure in a mass gathering event, there's a propensity to have quick spread of infectious diseases if there is some of those around. So what we want to ensure is that we could quickly identify, detect any possibility or risk of these things happening and respond to them in a short space of time. Dealing with 2 and 3 cases as opposed to 200 and 300 cases is much easier to manage. It reduces the burden on the health system and the financial resources that we require to treat with these types of persons. So we're very happy to be here in Belize to assist them with this capacity building, introducing them to our innovative electronic tools that will help with mass gathering surveillance and to ensure that the event is even better than before.
John Bowden, the Principal Health Inspector at the Ministry of Health and Wellness, says that these types of trainings are crucial for the benefit of Belize, as before the country did not have a mass event plan.
Okay, the Ministry of Health is basically responsible for disaster management, and if you remember that we are a subcommittee under NEMO, the Medical Care and Public Health Committee. And so we have developed a number of response plans for events. Unfortunately, one of them that we don't have is a mass event plan. And so this meeting actually gives us the opportunity to develop a multi-sectoral response for any events that would happen. And particularly, we're looking at the National Agriculture and Trade Show. We know that over the given period of time, the 3-day event, 2 to 3 days event that we have, many people are exposed to different risks, and so we need to put the necessary intervention in place to address any situation that would have a mass situation occurring. From what we can see at the moment, that there's definitely the need for us to expand the work that we do. That would mean that there would be additional inspectors on the ground and of course doing more inspections with the vendors at the facility.
The Belmopan Sitco has been making its rounds and had another meeting with residents to discuss municipal issues. We'll find out what they discuss right after this break.
So this is how much I work to you then?
So what, you may want 3 then?
Sure. You ought to order.
Sure. And I may think flowers may romantic.
Did you just get your girl 1 flower? Now you're in trouble?
The poor man out there, man, that's sin.
Your girl doesn't just want 1 flower, she wants a garden.
But builders are too far.
That's why we brought the store to you.
At shopbuildersbz.com, we make it easier to find all your building needs. Shop anytime, enjoy delivery right at your door, and save with every purchase. For February only, first-time users get to enjoy a special reward when signing up.
Ken!
Ota!
Hey, you do all of this?
Yes, with Builders Hardware.
Cada conexión es más que solo una señal, es un estudiante abriendo las puertas a su futuro a través de la educación digital. Una mente joven atreviéndose a soñar en grande. Nuestra cultura compartida con el mundo en tiempo real. Y héroes cotidianos respondiendo al llamado del deber cívico. Cuando nos conectamos con Digi, empoderamos a Belice.
Our Belize City is growing because of continued investment. From rehabilitated streets to expanding neighborhoods, significant investments are improving how our city functions and how our communities live. In the last 2 years alone, more than 250 streets have been rehabilitated, representing almost $34 million invested directly in physical infrastructure that improves access and quality of life. At the same time, the city continues to expand. Developments such as the Holy Emmanuel area, also known as Gungulung, reflect increased demand for land and housing as Belize City expands in a more sustainable and resilient way. These planned developments support safer communities and long-term sustainability, contributing to rising property values across the city. Under the Town's Property Evaluation Act, property values are required to be reviewed every 5 years. The last valuation adjustment was done in 2013. This adjustment simply brings property values closer to today's market reality, while the tax rate itself remains unchanged. Let's break it down. For a vacant property valued at $25,000, we charged an annual 2% rate, which works out to a payment of $500. Under the new assessment, the property value has appreciated by 40%, making the property now worth $35,000. Therefore, the new amount to be paid will be 2% of $35,000, which works out to $700. For an occupied property valued at $25,000, we charge an annual 10% rate, which works out to $2,500. Under the new assessment, the property's value has appreciated by 18%, making the property now worth $29,500. Therefore, the new amount to be paid will be 10% of $29,500, which works out to $2,950. To support property owners, your Belize City Council is encouraging residents to take advantage of the ongoing property tax prepayment incentives. Property owners receive 15% off in January, 10% off in February, and 5% in March. And senior citizens receive a 35% discount year-round. Remember, this adjustment represents an appreciation in your property's worth, not a change in tax rates, ensuring continued investment in your city while providing valuable data for informing investors, municipal bondholders, and individual credit assessments. And we want residents to know the law provides a clear mechanism for review and appeal if needed. Those who believe their valuation does not fairly reflect their property have the right to engage the Belize City Valuation Appeals Board. Your Belize City Council remains committed to openness, accountability, and ensuring that growth is managed fairly for everyone. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, texts, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio, 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
Drop it like it's hot.
On Sunday, the Belmopan City Council held its 3rd community meeting. This meeting was held in the J&W community where the mayor, along with his councillors, got the opportunity to meet with the residents of the area and hear their concerns. The mayor declared the meeting productive, stating that they have received a lot of feedback from the residents.
Some of the complaints are the usual issues that are brought up. Street street conditions, speeding of vehicles on roads, increased patrols by the police, bushy lots that are in the area. These tend to be some of the major concerns that people still have with their areas.
Yeah. And how are you guys planning to address these situations?
Well, when it comes to the street issues, if it's a dirt road, we now have the equipment that we are presently utilizing across the city. Yeah. We just try to ensure that we are now adding these other streets that are not on our list to ensure that they are part of the schedule so that they can be attended to. When it comes to paved roads, we are also trying to ensure they're on the schedule for patching of pavement.
This year's National Agricultural and Trade Show is right around the corner, and according to the new Minister of Agriculture, Rodwell Ferguson, this year promises to be bigger and better.
It is my first, and it's going to be where we are going to start, I believe, on the 1st of May because it's a holiday. So it will be a Friday, I believe, and so it go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So technically, Thursday will be the official opening of a National Agriculture and Trade Show. I used to always look at it from the outside. Now I'm fully involved after the processes and preparation of the National Agriculture Show. There's a specific committee that is responsible to make sure everything goes as planned, but they come back to me as minister from time to time to get advice what is the way forward. But I feel that it will be bigger and bigger every year. It gets bigger, and I believe that people look forward for it. We are going to make sure we have the female farm of the year, the male farm of the year, likewise I think the youthful farm of the year, and the school that wins the, when they go and do the checking around, the school that wins the prize for the best farm and the school compound.
And of course, this year's National Agriculture and Trade Show 2026 is scheduled for May 1 to the 3rd, with opening ceremonies on April 30 under the theme Advancing Smart Agriculture, Building a Climate Resilient and Sustainable Belizean Food System. And we will certainly be present at that one this year. That brings us to the end of our newscast for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning into Plus News, and be sure to join us right back here again tomorrow evening when we bring you all the latest happenings from around the country and keep you informed, our Belizeans. Until then, God bless. Have a lovely night. See you tomorrow.